Eminem, also known as Marshall Mathers, is one of the most successful rappers of all time. He is best known for his 2002 hit Lose Yourself, which won an Oscar for Best Original Song, marking the first time a hip-hop artist received this award. He also won Grammy Awards for Best Rap Song and Best Rap Solo Performance for the same track. Before all the fame, accolades, luxury watches, cars, mansions, and a net worth of $230 million, Eminem was a regular skinny kid born to a 15-year-old mother. They frequently moved from city to city, initially around Missouri after his father left for California with a new family. In his teenage years, Eminem ended up in Detroit, where he was often bullied and beaten for living in a predominantly black neighborhood. At that time, he dreamed of becoming a comic book artist, but after hearing Ice-T's song Reckless, he became hooked on rap. At 14, he began writing his own raps and would sneak to a neighboring school during lunch to participate in freestyle battles in the cafeteria. Unsurprisingly, he spent 3 years in 9th grade and eventually dropped out at 17. Marshall started attending rap battles held in the basement of a local hip-hop shop and participated in various rap festivals to gain experience and hone his flow. Dealing with constant conflicts with his difficult mother, living with a demanding wife, and caring for a newborn child were heavy burdens for Eminem. However, these challenges provided inspiration for his music. His first solo album, Infinite, released in 1996, was a failure. Things began to change in 1997 when he was fired from his dishwashing job at a restaurant and evicted from his home. With nothing left to lose, he went to Los Angeles for the Rap Olympics Festival, where he placed second. However, this brought him to the attention of Interscope Records' Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. They asked to hear his material and received a cassette of the Slim Shady EP. They were so impressed that they immediately wanted to sign Marshall to their label. Dr. Dre faced criticism for introducing a white rapper, but produced the Slim Shady LP, which became one of the best albums of 1999, earning triple platinum certification within 12 months. Following this success, Eminem's popularity soared with songs that mocked celebrities, his mother, and his ex-wife. His controversial lyrics worked in his favor, and soon he collaborated with numerous artists, from Missy Elliott to Kid Rock and Redman. Despite taking creative breaks due to health issues and drug addiction, Eminem consistently releases new material. As of now, he has 11 studio albums, with the latest Music to Be Murdered By, released in January 2020, produced by Marshall Mathers and longtime collaborator Dr. Dre. Despite constant criticism for his violent lyrics, nothing can slow down his career. This is fortunate as, unlike many other hip-hop artists, most of Marshall's income comes from music. Being the best-selling rapper in hip-hop history, it makes sense not to distract himself with other ventures unless necessary. His 2013 album, The Marshall Mathers LP, alone sold 35 million copies, and overall, more than 100 million copies of his studio discography have been sold worldwide. Add royalties, tours, festivals, and streaming, and he's set for life. As a 43-time Grammy nominee, Eminem has about $230 million, placing him among the wealthiest hip-hop artists globally. Despite his wealth, he has unique spending habits. It took him a while to allow himself to make expensive purchases. For the first few years, he couldn't get used to the idea. Some rappers immediately spend their first check on a house or a new car, but Eminem wanted to ensure he wouldn't lose everything one day. He needed to think about his growing daughter and provide for her. So, when he wanted to treat himself to a Rolex watch, he first consulted with accountants to see if he could afford it and still support his daughter. They laughed, saying he could buy 10 new Rolexes without affecting his finances. Now, he laughs at the situation, saying, "I made them laugh with my question, but back then, finances were a completely new topic for me." After purchasing the watch, Marshall was initially afraid to wear it because it was too expensive, and he didn't want to scratch it. Over time, M relaxed a bit and acquired an entire collection of watches. His limited edition black and white G-Shocks became quite the topic online, not so much for their bright backlight and super illuminator, or their ability to withstand water depths of up to 200 meters, but because he wore them during his anti-Trump freestyle in 2017. One of his recent acquisitions is a fully gold Rolex Day-Date, which he wore at the Oscars in February 2020. This model has been produced since 1956, but the bracelet, called the Gold Nugget, is something new. These 18-karat watches cost the rapper $25,000. Once Eminem experienced spending large sums, he turned his attention to real estate. The first home where he spent most of his time is a huge mansion in Clinton Township, Michigan, north of Detroit. This 1996 house, with an area of 740 square meters, has 4 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. When Eminem bought it in 2000, he spent $1,483,000. He still lives there to this day, and although the house is not for sale, realtors estimate its value to be around the same, about $1.5 million. 3 years later, he acquired another house near Detroit, making the previous one look like a guest house in comparison. This enormous mansion, located in Rochester Hills, again north of Detroit, covers 1,600 square meters. Eminem frequently visited this house, but Clinton Township remained his primary residence. The giant Rochester Hills house features 6 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms, along with a massive kitchen. The backyard includes a pool, jacuzzi, private pond, and a 3-car garage. Eminem purchased this property for $3,350,000 from the CEO of the Kmart supermarket chain. In 2017, Marshall sold this house to new owners, who also put it up for sale. So if you have $3,750,000, the house could be yours. It seems that when it comes to living space, Marshall doesn't need much, especially compared to other rap stars. However, he knows how to travel in style. Once you reach a certain level of fame, the only calm way to travel is by private jet. Eminem started using such transportation when he amassed a couple of $1 million. However, he never bought planes. Their value depreciates quickly, so instead of making a poor investment, he rents them as needed. Such situations arise constantly. Often, he orders a plane for people he expects at events. For instance, he brought singer Bebe Rexha to Coachella to perform the song The Monster, which she co-wrote. According to data from the airline company Air Charter Service, the large business jet that Eminem uses costs between $8,500 to $13,000 per hour. So if Eminem plans to fly from a concert in New York to Los Angeles, he must spend between $51,000 to $78,000. In 2008, 50 Cent mentioned that during the third Anger Management Tour, which lasted just over a month, Marshall ordered a private jet home every day to meet his daughter after school and then flew back. This meant more than 20 round trips in 1 month, adding hundreds of thousands of dollars to the tour budget. And what does Eminem do when there's no need for a plane? He chooses what to drive from his garage. His collection includes a limited edition 2007 Ferrari 430 Scuderia, a Lamborghini Aventador, a Cadillac Escalade, a Porsche Carrera GT, a Chrysler 300C, an Audi R8 Spider, a Hummer H2, and a purebred American sports car, Ford GT. Spending money on cars is a given for any rapper. But what else makes Marshall Mathers unique in terms of his spending? His multi-million-dollar budget is also eaten up by entertainment, especially arcade machines and comic books. It seems Eminem feels nostalgic for the 80s and 90s, as he has filled Faye's studio with arcade machines featuring classic games we played on the NES, like Frogger, Space Invaders, and Donkey Kong. Not all arcade machines are incredibly expensive, but depending on the rarity of the game, the price can reach tens of thousands of dollars per machine. In his childhood, Eminem wanted to draw comics. It appears this passion never went away. Now, his bank account allows him to buy numerous copies for his collection. This collection is so impressive that even a seasoned comic book enthusiast called it supernatural. He even has some issues that can't be found in stores. According to his colleagues, the most valuable comic in this collection is Amazing Fantasy 15, where Spider-Man makes his first appearance. In 2011, a similar copy in perfect condition was sold at auction for $1,100,000. So we can estimate how much Eminem spent on his comic. Judging by how one of the most successful hip-hop artists of all time spends his money, it can be said that Eminem knows what he wants and what he doesn't. With a name like his and a net worth of $230 million, he can afford all his desires. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel.